A stone tablet just surfaced in Iraq, and what's written on it sounds exactly like something from the Bible, a vision that a guy named Daniel had over 2,500 years ago. I'm talking about ancient clay tablets, forgotten languages, and archaeological discoveries that are lining up perfectly with biblical prophecy. For years, people thought Daniel's visions were just metaphors, poetic, but not literal history. But what if they were wrong? What if Daniel was actually seeing the future? And what if we're finding proof of it right now, buried in the ground? Stick around, because this is about to get wild. Before we continue, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like this video if you want to spread God's truth. Let's continue. Let's rewind to ancient Babylon, one of the most powerful empires in history. Picture massive temples, political intrigue, absolute power. And right in the middle of it all is Daniel, a young Hebrew exile serving in King Nebuchadnezzar's court. Then the king has a dream that terrifies him. He calls in all his wise men and says, "Tell me what I dreamed." Not interpret it, tell me what it was. Nobody can do it. Except Daniel. And here's the thing, Daniel doesn't claim to have secret knowledge. He says God revealed it to him. The king saw a giant statue. Head of gold, that's Babylon. Chest and arms of silver, Medo-Persia. Belly and thighs of bronze, Greece under Alexander. Legs of iron, Rome. Feet of iron mixed with clay, a divided kingdom, strong yet fragile. Sound familiar? Kinda like our world today. Then a stone appears, not carved by human hands, and smashes the statue to dust. That stone becomes a mountain filling the whole earth. Daniel says, in the days of those kings, God will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed. Later in Daniel chapter 7, the vision returns as beasts, a lion, a bear, a leopard, and a terrifying final beast with iron teeth. But it ends the same way, judgment comes, and an eternal kingdom is established. So was Daniel just a smart political observer? Or was he seeing the entire timeline of world history through divine vision? Because now, thousands of years later, the earth is giving up its secrets. April 2024. Iraq. A team from the Babylon Cultural Heritage Project starts digging near ancient Babylon. Over 6 weeks, they recover 478 artifacts. Most are routine, household items, tax records, grain shipments. But then they find something different, old Babylonian cuneiform tablets containing what scholars call visionary literature. Dreams. Divine messages. Cryptic celestial references. And then one tablet makes everyone stop. It reads, "The king saw an image in the night, shining like fire with a head of gold." Wait, what? That's exactly what Daniel described. Could this be an independent Babylonian record, written outside the Bible, talking about the same dream Daniel interpreted for Nebuchadnezzar? Here's what makes it credible. These tablets date to around 600 BCE, exactly when Daniel was supposed to be serving in the royal court. And they were found in a royal archive site, meaning these aren't folk tales. These are state documents from inside the palace walls. One researcher said, "These aren't fables. These are deliberate, preserved, carefully encoded state records." These tablets suggest Nebuchadnezzar himself believed the dream was real, that his kingdom was the golden head, and that some divine power was watching and judging. This doesn't disprove Daniel's account. It confirms it. Now jump to 2022. Researchers are going through a dusty storage room in a Greek museum. You know, one of those forgotten corners where artifacts just sit for years. They find a stele, a carved stone monument. On it, a warrior on horseback, charging forward with his spear drawn. In front of him stand 2 crowned figures representing a dual kingdom. No question who it is, Alexander the Great, attacking the Persian Empire. Cool art, right? But then someone makes a connection. Because what's carved on that stone looks exactly like Daniel chapter 8. "I saw a ram with 2 horns. Then a goat with a prominent horn came from the west, racing across the earth without touching the ground." It struck the ram with savage force and broke both its horns. In the vision, the ram is Medo-Persia. The goat is Greece. The prominent horn is Alexander. This stele, made to celebrate Alexander's victory, became a visual representation of biblical prophecy written hundreds of years earlier. And it's not just the concept. It's the details. The aggressive posture. The moment of impact. The stunned stance of the ram. Everything lines up like a scene drawn from memory. Early 2024. Archaeologists return to the Qumran caves, where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found, and explore a narrow crack in the rock that had never been examined before. Hidden in the darkness, they find a small piece of parchment, no bigger than your hand, torn and blackened with age. Using infrared light and advanced imaging, the faded text comes to life. It's a portion of the Book of Daniel. But here's the shocking part. When they date it, the scroll turns out to be older than many scholars expected. It was written before several events Daniel prophesied, including the rise of Rome. This wasn't written after the fact. This is a true prophetic text, recorded before those empires existed. The scroll mentions the same things, for kingdoms rising and falling, symbolic beasts, a final judgment, an eternal kingdom. So if this was written before it all happened, then either Daniel was the luckiest guesser in history, or what he saw came from a divine source. The scroll doesn't argue. It just exists, quietly holding its ground against all of history. So what do we make of all this? Cuneiform tablets in Babylon. A Greek stele echoing Daniel's visions. An ancient scroll written before history unfolded. Some say it's coincidence. That Daniel was brilliant, a sharp observer who made good guesses. They see metaphor and good timing. But others see patterns too precise to ignore. Names, nations, sequences, timing. Visions written before any of it came to pass, now being confirmed piece by archaeology. Ancient records can confirm kings, wars, and cities. But when they start confirming dreams and visions, that's different. Because Daniel didn't just get the empires right. He got their order right. Their character. Their rise. Their collapse. And he ends with something no historian could predict. A kingdom not made by human hands. A stone that crushes the statue. A final divine reign that never ends. Which leads to a personal question. If Daniel got Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome right, what does that mean for the final prophecy? The one that hasn't happened yet? Why now? Why are these ancient messages, lost for centuries, surfacing today? Maybe we're not just uncovering ruins. Maybe we're uncovering reminders. Messages preserved for the moment the world was ready. Daniel's vision ends with a kingdom not made by humans. One that destroys all others. One that lasts forever. If we're really in the final stage, the feat of iron and clay, what comes next isn't another empire. It's something far bigger. If prophecy is real, time could be running out. Are we the last kingdom before the eternal one? Maybe that's why the stones are speaking now. What do you think? History, or something more? Drop your thoughts, hit like, and subscribe for more on ancient mysteries.